morning. It's Wednesday, October 18th. Just what will be our number one pick today? 90% of our number one picks of the day, green for the day from the 9:30 a.m. open. Some of them substantially. Geo was up like 7% on Monday. Powell was up 10% today. I don't know yet what our number one pick will be. We're going to go through it together and figure it out. Look at the macro first. All right, look, gold, oil, and VIX, right? These are my three indicators plus defense stocks, which kind of is a barometer for is the market worried about a broader regional war, right? It's a geopolitical barometer. And I would say today, yes. Given what we saw last night, man, the world reactions, it's pretty scary. Um, which, as it turns out, was a Hamas misfired rocket. That's been even Biden has agreed to that this morning in Israel. But it tells you like what kind of the agenda is, right? What the rest of the world or the Middle East is up to, what they want to do. They're just looking for any excuse. Let me tell you, it was very possible that this could have been an Israeli accident. It was a Hamas accident. Accidents happen in war, and imagine if this was the reaction, if this was, you saw what happened. They were like attacking U.S. and Israeli embassies all over the Middle East. Countries that were aligned with Israel are starting to pull back, right? And, as this war goes on, there will be mistakes. There will be accidents. People, there will be bigger incidents of civilians dying than Israel or anyone else wants. So I think this reaction by the world to the incident last night tells you where this is going. I think there's a pre-written script here. This whole thing was orchestrated. I don't want to. I have to get involved. I have to talk politics because it impacts the stocks. This whole thing was orchestrated by Iran, all right, to purposely get a bad reaction out of Israel. This was the plan, waiting for some moment to say, "Oh, look, Israel overreacted. Look what they did," and they're even going to jump on something when it was their own misfire. This is a predetermined plan that's been in the works for a couple years to, in my opinion, to be the war that, and from their perspective, the final war to wipe out Israel. I believe that's what they're up to. Okay. And in such a war, it's likely there's going to be regional involvement. So we have our aircraft, strike carrier groups up there in the U.S. And I think there's a very high chance this is going to evolve into something regional that will include U.S. military assets and will include Iran at some point. Unfortunately, that's my assessment. And we see it this morning. This is what I believe we're seeing in gold, oil, and VIX. I know there's some other news on oil regarding China GDP or something being stronger than expected. I get that. But gold and up like this. We saw this Friday morning. Okay. All right. I gotta talk faster. All right. So in any case, that's my assessment for today. It's kind of like that whole war theme is still in play. Okay. TLT, keep an eye on it, right? This is, again, I'm keeping the same thesis I had yesterday. If we go below 84.06, okay, this can fake you out, man. If this goes to $84, like a tail below it, and ends up really being a holding, or if it goes to 84.06 and bounces, like the markets could still soar. You could still have a green markets in war, okay? But if we go below 84.06 and that becomes like definitive, like we're definitively going before 84.06 or going below 84 with high volume, and now it's resistance, can't get back above 84.06, look out below, man. KRE, IWM, and ARK-K, the most susceptible, and these are at nice little levels. Like this could end up being profitable shorts over here. Wow, IWM, that ended up being a tail. We thought it broke out of the 20. What really? I thought it closed. No, wow. Okay. So, that's my macro perspective. Look out below on markets if TLT goes below that low. Okay. And gold, USO, VIXI, this is telling you that people are concerned about a regional war. Okay. We're also seeing some movement in the defense stocks a little bit this morning so far. Let's go to morning show. All right. So we have some news out on ARDX. We'll cover in a minute. Some news out on Peloton. Some negative news on United Airlines. Also, Lucid had negative news yesterday that I kind of missed. And an analyst came out with a $3 price target today. NVIDIA has some negative news yesterday, which I don't know that I'm going to be playing it. And then these are gun stocks we're monitoring, right? POWW, RGR, that's a fake print. There's 13 cents on Axon, right? SWBI. So it's a question of what's the top 5 going to be? What's the number 1 going to be? And before gold, let me just talk ARDX. ARDX is a biotech that had an FDA approval last night. And they got $50 million of non-dilutive financing, debt financing. So that's good. Okay. And the market cap isn't huge. At $750 million, get FDA approval and non-dilutive financing. I like that. And then I see this candle right here. The high before the news is 375. To me, that's your support. All right around 375. Now, with these kind of plays, you have to be a little bit careful. This is what I've seen in my experience. If it's just an FDA approval, doesn't matter. It's not necessarily good news. It could be sell the news event. But when you also have financing for commercialization, that's what that $50 million is for. That's always good. But the question is, what's the path to that good result in the stock? I've seen many times the first day you get this strange reaction, like it's down 10, 15, 20%. From there. I've seen that many times. And I've also seen that it's just up, right? So this one's a little bit tricky in terms of, is there going to be that shakeout, right? Like basically people on the wrong side of it. It's a high short position, 10%. They probably try to shake people out day one and then they run it, or are the bulls just going to be able to run it? That's the question. And I don't know the answer to that, but I do know there's some nice support at 375. And then of course you have gap support at 350. If it breaks below 375, I'd probably sell. We're already in this, some shares here. So I think 375 is a buy area for sure. Low 380s or some support in the low 380s earlier this morning. And then if we break below it, head to 350. Okay. And then maybe you could just, if you're in it and it's looking good, you could just follow some trend lines up throughout the day. I think we're going to be doing that with RDEX today. All right. I don't know if it's a number 1 yet, but at least with stock. So like when we talk about, if you're in our legacy community, you've been talking about, how we're managing our own money and everything. And the shift we want to do towards number 1 pick. We're still going to be doing equity maybe, throughout the day, but we're only going to do options on the number 1 pick of the day. I think is kind of where we fell on. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. But in any case, RDEX definitely looks good for today. Definitely a top 5. SWBI, I definitely want to put in the top 5 as well, because yesterday we had a 52-week closing high. Sneaky when that happens. Some people miss it, and then it's a good signal because it's a sneaky signal. Like people don't jump on it. It's hard to see here. All right, but if you go to if you go over the crosshairs on each one and you look at the closing price, you can see yesterday was a new closing high. Another way to visualize that is to change the style, go from a candle chart to a line chart. And you can see this new closing high. All right. So I really like SWBI today. Let me just change the style, particularly because POWW went up 10% yesterday. So with POWW up 10%, there may be people looking for other gun plays. All right. People looking to rotate, things like that. So SWBI is going to be in the top 5. RDEX going to be in the top 5. Gold going to be in the top 5. All right. Those 3 for sure. All right. Now let's go on down. Is Peloton going to be a top 5? Peloton, let's see. Peloton did a deal with the NBA this morning. Look at that. I don't know where the initial release is. I just have this Benzinga. I'd like to see the initial one to make sure it's new. If someone can just double check that. I see a Peloton 8:10 a.m. But Peloton NBA and WNBA multi-year partnership. All right, naming Peloton as the official fitness partner, naming Peloton an official fitness partner, not the official fitness partner. So that's something. All right. So in any case, after that Lulu, now you have NBA. That's good news. The stock's been holding the 20 DMA, so Peloton could have a good day. It's hard to imagine that in a market like this. Man, look at gold, man. Gold is looking freaking spectacular today. I think we might do gold calls today. I think we might have to make it the number 1 pick of the day. This reminds me of exactly the chart we saw pre-market Friday. And pre-market Friday, the price action we saw pre-market Friday, look how it exploded at the open. 177 to 179 went up all day. But before the market opens, there's other ways to play this. This is a levered. I don't know if it's the best one. there's lots of ETFs, like maybe a pure gold ETF, a levered ETF for gold. I don't know what they are called. That might be better than the miners. This is GDXU. Or maybe you just buy some gold now to make a little bit of money in case this goes up between now and the open. We've seen that so many times, especially when some things are number one pick. You get this big move between like 9 and 9:30 a.m. And I'd like to cap, with some common stock before we try the options at the open. So in any case, gold, ARDX, SWBI, definitely in the top 5. Peloton, maybe. Let's see if there's anything else. All right. We have I like this bid ask is tightening on POW. By the way, the target on POWW is $3, right? So like, why not put POWW like up there today? Well, I think it's because the RSI stretch is at 80. It's going to 3. It's going to 3. Is it today? Is it tomorrow? I don't know. But also something to consider. Let's say 298 minus 275, where the ask is now, divided by 275. Oh, it's actually more than I thought. 8%. That's still an 8% move to 298. I might have to put POWW in the top 5. Okay. All right, let's go down. Let's go further down. And let's see. Lucid. Do I want to bother shorting Lucid today? Maybe. $3 price target after delivery numbers came in bad yesterday. Also, RGR, another we're monitoring. Lilium with some good news this morning. DACO some good news this morning, but I don't think either of them good enough to get into the top 5. Trio, I'm not really looking for continuation today. We had our one-day pop yesterday, and that's good. It got blocked with 20 and 50 moving averages. Maybe we can see continuation. Cyber today. Okay, this is where I wanted to go. Defense stocks. So with gold, VIX, and oil up, I think defense is going to have to be on watch again today. So let's move our defense stocks up. All right, we kind of fell on it. When we play defense, we're going to do it with NOC. All right, so we go NOC. It's been behaving the best since the war. Although Raytheon, I think, really needs to catch up. And Raytheon actually had one second. It's 9:13. Okay, Raytheon had a really good day yesterday. Actually, the morning was good. It's pulled back. Let's see. A little choppy here. I don't know, man. Raytheon, I think, really needs to catch up. And at some point, it's going to head to $78 at 50 DMA. Okay. So I think we're going to have to put a defense stock in the top 5. Let's do that. All right. We're going to put a defense stock in the top 5. And I guess we'll put one gun stock in the top 5. We got that biotech, Peloton Gold. This is looking like it might be the top 5, but man, we got to keep a close eye on TLT. If that goes below, and man, it's heading there. Whoa, what is KRE doing now? KRE. Wow, it's still kind of elevated. I think this is an opportunity. If that TLT goes, let's see. Carry, IWM, ARC. What's ARC doing? I think KRE would be the prime candidate. IWM. But this is tricky. We've seen this multiple times. Every time bonds have opened like this, not every time, but a lot, it's had these like, I don't know, you call these hammers. I don't know what you call these open red candles, right? Where in the morning, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And then it ends up being a great day for the stock market because it ends up holding that low. 8406. I got to write this down. Oh man, it's 9:15. I got to go soon. So 8406 on TLT. Let me just put this on my desktop too. Oh, I have it there. Okay. All right. Wow. Gold looking great. All right. Let's go back to the morning show. Okay. So what are we going to do? I got to go. I think I got to go gold. I think I got to go gold today. Gold, it's got to be the call options. Okay. You're not going to make a ton of money on gold. GLD alone. I think we're going to do gold call options at the open. Okay. That's going to be a number one pick. ARDX, looking good with the levels I told you about. We'll do that with common shares. SWBI, I'm looking for a breakout. Hasn't really happened yet, but it could happen today. NOC, I want to be holding these stocks. I want to have exposure to these stocks. We do have a swing account too. So we still have a swing allocation. So we're swinging stocks like SWBI, NOC right now. And then to round it out, we're going to give you a Peloton there in the top 5, which maybe we'll play with some shares. But the thing that we're going to be playing with call options at the open is going to be gold. Gold is our number one pick, okay? Specifically from a call option perspective, all right? So we're going to be judging ourselves based on that in terms of the return for the day. You can pick whatever contract you like. We have a methodology that we've kind of settled in on. But pretty much, if you're right on the direction, you can pick almost anything, as long as it's not like, well out of the money or something like that, and have a good day with call options. So, all right, we're locking it in. Gold number 1, ARDX number 2, SWBI number 3, NOC number 4, and Peloton number 5. Good luck. I'll see you on the 1 p.m. show. Take care, everyone.